Well, ladies and gentlemen, we finally got here. James Gunn's Superman movie to his whole new DC universe. Did it save DC? Is there more harm than good? Is it a perfect Superman movie? Well, let's get into it. Just a friendly reminder, I might sound a little biased because I was fucking looking forward to this movie. I wore this on Friday and Saturday and went to go see the movie. Didn't wear it on Sunday, but it was a lot of fun and I took a lot of photos with people. So yeah, you can tell I really love this movie. But was it the right movie? Is it a hopeful, brightful future for DC and for James Gunn's whole new universe? Well, we got to get into it, shall we? So after seeing Superman 3 times, I can say that this is an amazing Superman movie. It's the Superman we deserved. I would say I loved it just as much as the original Christopher Reeve Superman movie, because that movie says timeless. Yeah, it has this little cheesiness here and there, but damn, holy crap, this movie really showed the optimistic, hopeful Superman everyone deserves to have in their life. And no, I won't be trashing Man of Steel or Zack Snyder because I actually did love Man of Steel, and I'm whatever with Zack Snyder, but I've always said that Man of Steel is 37 to 41% a Superman movie, and then the rest is just a typical Zack Snyder movie. I might make a video talking about Man of Steel, who knows, you'll have to see. But let's just get out of the way. David Corenswet as Clark Kent and Superman, fucking perfection. Just absolutely beautiful. This man gave it his all in this role. And I just loved how accurate he was when it comes to Clark Kent and Superman. Whether he was just saving a dog from the kaiju or saving a squirrel, or even just him hugging those kids after the kaiju battle. Just seeing him be the people's champion is what I loved about it. And also we get to see just the human side of Superman, to where he gets scared, he feels love. And that was one of my favorite dialogues in this movie towards the end, when he's talking to Lex Luthor and telling him that, dude, yeah, I may be an alien, but I feel fear. I feel love. I have all these emotions like you as a human, so I'm not that much more different than you. And I'm just going to say it right now, the Justice Gang, fucking amazing. I kind of had some worries about the Justice Gang in particular, because I thought they might have been like somewhat of an antagonistic side in the Superman movie, or they were going to kind of overshadow it, it was going to feel overstuffed. No, they all played a pivotal role, and I felt like everyone in the Justice Gang had the right amount of screen time. Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, dude, at first I was like, that might suck, but dude, Nathan Fillion killed in that role. Isabella Merced, I kind of wish Hot Girl, had a little bit more of a bigger role, just a little bit more, but, she served her purpose. I like her. And we can all agree, Mr. Terrific was the MVP of this movie. Just played beautifully. I loved his fight scene at Lex Luthor's base, and I loved when he saved Superman from the pocket dimension. I'm just saying right now, I need an Authorities TV series or a movie. James Gunn, you got to give us either that or a Mr. Terrific show. Just something with Mr. Terrific. I want to see more of this character. And it's so awesome because I didn't like the way they portrayed him in the Green Arrow TV show. But yeah, this redeemed Mr. Terrific for sure. I also love the Daily Planet gang, Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, and Perry White in particular. But Cat Grant and the other two characters that I'm going to be honest, I forgot their names. They're just, whatever, but they're just there along for the ride. Jimmy Olsen was pretty cool. He was my favorite out of the bunch. But that man was a Rizzler, dude. That dude literally could get any female that he wanted. And ladies and gentlemen, Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, certified D1 hater. This is how you do Lex Luthor. And I already see people complain about how he seemed like a whiny brat and that he was a little too obsessed with Superman. Yeah, that's kind of Lex Luthor's thing. He does not like Superman at all. Nicholas Hoult just had that D1 hater energy in him. And I just love how he had like the facial acting to when he was angry when Superman escaped from the pocket dimension, or when he finally got caught red-handed and was getting arrested. Just everything Nicholas Hoult did as Lex Luthor was just beautiful, especially after the Jesse Eisenberg Lex Luthor portrayal. No, we needed a Lex Luthor like this. And I'm just going to say it right now. If James Gunn did this with Lex Luthor, imagine how he's going to do Eobard Thawne Reverse Flash when it comes to the new Flash movie. And I just want to say this right now. It's so funny to think about how Nicholas Hoult auditioned for the part of Superman, and he never got it. So you can tell he was bringing that little hateful energy towards David Corenswet Superman, and they're probably friends, but you can just tell that he was bringing that extra energy there. And I'm just going to say it right now. That is a perfect, hero and villain relationship right there, dude. There is no way that could have been more perfect. And I'll say this too, James Gunn did a damn good job of making sure that whoever was going to portray Lois Lane and Clark Kent had to have damn near that perfect chemistry. Just This scene alone, when Lois is interviewing Clark as Superman, that's one of my favorite bits in this movie. Because, yeah, she loves Clark, but she's still a reporter and a journalist, and she's going to get the story no matter what. So I'm kind of happy that she wasn't sugarcoating shit. She was getting down to business, and we can see that Clark was getting frustrated because, yeah, he was doing the right thing, but also it caused a lot of problems. But, yeah, this scene, just loved it. I loved her as Lois Lane, and I can't wait to see more of her in the future. Yeah, I loved all the characters and how they were written in this movie, but also we got to talk about some of the negatives I did have with this movie. I'm just gonna say it right now: the Ultraman reveal, I everyone saw that coming from a mile away, even before this movie came out. I will say it's a unique take on the character of Bizarro, and he might come back in the future because we see him go back in the black hole. We don't see him die, so we'll see what they do with the character of Bizarro when he returns to the DCU. And no, this isn't a knock on Metamorpho. In fact, I loved Metamorpho. But I do know there was a valid criticism of this movie, which I kind of agree if I was a casual moviegoer, was that this movie expected the audience to kind of know what was going on. And as someone who loves how this movie felt like a true comic book movie, I can agree that, yeah, because some of these characters are drop into the mix all of a sudden, and it kind of expects you to understand who they are, whether you try to explain it in a line. So I kind of wish this movie gave the audience time to breathe, kind of get to know these characters. I wish we saw more of Jonathan and Martha Kent. And yeah, I know I said everyone had their screen time and used it, in the right amount. But come on, I would want to see more of Farm Boy Clark Kent, whether it was just flashbacks or him just talking to them a lot more. Now, while this isn't necessarily, like a negative for me or a nitpick, I do want to know why James Gunn decided to use Bradley Cooper's Jor-El as kind of like a bad guy. I know Jor-El, you can't really say he's a good guy for sure, but it is kind of interesting that James Gunn made it seem like that he wants Clark to take over the entire Earth and rule him. So maybe that plays a pivotal role in the future because they're not just going to cast someone like Bradley Cooper, as Jor-El unless he's going to play a big role in the future. Another positive I want to add too, I forgot, was Crypto. I love the usage of Crypto in this movie. I was kind of scared that in some way he was going to overshadow Superman in his own movie, but they used him perfectly. And I already hear people say, oh, well, Superman would have lost or died if he never had Crypto. No, not really. They kind of mentioned in the beginning of the movie that Superman never lost a battle, until the Hammer of Baravia attacked Metropolis. But even then, that's dedicated to Lex Luthor literally studying Superman for 3 years, knowing his every move. And the minute Superman took away all those cameras from watching Superman, dude, it was GG's from right there. We saw how OP David Corenswet Superman could be. I'm not gonna lie, I did not think we were gonna get a Peacemaker cameo in this movie. I honestly thought a post-credit scene was gonna involve Amanda Waller meeting up with Rick Flag Sr. and her telling Rick Flag Sr. that this is the man, Peacemaker, that killed your son, Rick Flag, and that was gonna lead into Peacemaker Season 2. But you know what? I still love the cameo. It was a little funny. And we get our first official look at the DCU version of Supergirl. I'm excited for Supergirl. I'm just going to say that right now, especially it's going to have Jason Momoa as Lobo, as he should have been. So yeah, that was a cool little cameo in the movie. So despite, me understanding that this could be a little overwhelming for casual moviegoers, especially since we're literally being dropped into the middle of the universe with little explanation besides the opening credits of the Superman movie, this is a solid foundation for the DCU, and it makes me excited as to how James Gunn is going to do Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, and even the Justice League movie, because we're going to get a Justice League movie. So all in all, I'm going to say it's a bright, hopeful future for the DCU. Let me know in the comments below, did you like Superman 2025? What would you change about it? Does this make you optimistic, hopeful for the new DCU? Let me know in the comments below.